Hello ladies and sirs, welcome back to another working contraptions video. Over the years I've made many different working contraptions throughout my creative worlds, which I'm going to share with you lovely ladies and sirs so you can take your own inspiration from, or just make yourself. Today, we have a pretty interesting one. So today's working contraption was created to help get around this massive creative world a lot better. This world can take up to 6 hours to tour. 6 hours! And one of the original contraptions to get around this world was this. A TARDIS. You go up to the TARDIS, you can just summon it, you can go in, you're inside the TARDIS. Like, that's pretty cool. Once you're inside the TARDIS, you can come up to the console, and you've got multiple different locations we can go to. We can unflick T.A.R.D.I.S where we are now. Let's go to a Chinese restaurant. Yeah, you got the whole thing going on. You go through. Here we are. We've now moved. We're now here in a Chinese restaurant. Have this whole lovely location, and if you don't want to go all the way back to where you came from, you can just chuck the snowball down. TARDIS gets summoned. Enter in. Back in the TARDIS. And the snowball returns right back to your hand once the summoned TARDIS dematerializes, as it only lasts a couple seconds. And now I'm going to show you how this thing works. First we'll look at how the normal TARDIS just works. It's pretty easy enough. You open the pressure plate of the door, which activates this redstone here, which activates the play sound command, which this will not be able to be replicated in your builds. I'm sorry to say. This particular sound in this command is only to the resource pack which I have custom made for this world. So unless you know how to install custom sounds to your resource packs, sadly the sound commands will be completely irrelevant. The main command to notice is just this one, which the pressure plate on the inside will activate it and immediately teleport the nearest player, which will be inside of the door, to where the TARDIS location is. In this instance, the TARDIS location is all the way over here underground. The location that you are teleported to is right on the pressure plate. So first things first, we'll discuss how the TARDIS is able to go between locations. The inner functions for this TARDIS is located just here under the ground at the floor, and you got this. Trust me, this is not as complicated as it looks. The main premise between changing locations is from each one of these purple command blocks. Each one is constantly testing for a block in the coordinates of a lever which you designate for what location you want, and testing for it in a certain configuration. In this case for the T.A.R.D.I.S lever, it's number 13. As soon as it detects that lever, it gives out a redstone input. Each one of these command blocks along here plays a custom sound, which is for the TARDIS changing locations, which means it isn't overly relevant to you guys. When this activates, it activates this cloning command, which is cloning the command block right in front of it, which is just a normal teleport command, all the way to this location, which falls right beneath the pressure plate of the door, changing the location of where you'll be teleported to, as each one of these command blocks along this wall is a different location in the world. The way the system is mostly broke down into is the sound, the detecting lever being clicked, the cloney command, and the wibbly teleport command. These net signs were put down so long ago. So if I come up to the console and change locations, it will do exactly as I described, and I can just come up to the door, and I'm in whatever location I requested. Now let's cover how you can summon it to your own personal location. For this part of the TARDIS, it's a bit more crucial of where you place it. It needs to be placed within the spawn chunks to always be loaded. In this case, it's down here just beneath the dock, and we have this system here. Once again, it's not that complicated. Well, at least I think so. The first command is a test for command, which is always looking for a player in the world holding a snowball named TARDIS summon, like so. Once it detects it, it activates. Once that's giving out a power output, it activates this repeating command block, which is constantly detecting for a snowball entity which has been thrown. Once this command block detects a thrown snowball in the air, it will immediately clear the snowball from the player's inventory, since most people are uncreative in this world, and then it's to teleport an armor stand to the snowball. This armor stand is named TARDIS-1. TARDIS-1 is an invisible armor stand which is invulnerable, which goes to whatever location the snowball is thrown to. Both this command and this command do the exact same thing. Just because of the tick delay, it just extends it a little bit more just so there's a less of a chance of something not working. And to add on to that, to make sure the TARDIS location is stable, since the gravity is enabled for the armor stand, there is a 4 tick delay on each one of these repeaters, which leads to this command block. Once the redstone reaches the next command block, it executes a command right at the armor stand's location, doing a clone of the TARDIS template, which is in a room above, right at the armor stand's location. Future Sir batting in here because I forgot to mention it in the original recording. The difference with this TARDIS, which is cloned, is that the command block is located at the back of it for teleporting players into the TARDIS, as obviously you don't want the floor to be destroyed wherever it's teleported to. So that's located back there. Obviously just a normal teleport command. After that, it goes through this whole relay of repeaters, just drawing it out to make sure the player has enough time to go into the TARDIS. Once it gets to the end, it goes to these command blocks, just immediately clones air from the same room as the TARDIS template, right to that same stand location, deleting the TARDIS. Followed immediately by a command which gives the summon key right back to the player. Also, once again, named TARDIS Summon and Enchanted. Just to quickly show this in action, I can throw the snowball just over here. Activates, goes around, and disappears. Snowball returned. It's a lovely piece of kit, isn't it? Disclaimer, this contraption was created back in the version 1.12, so some of the commands may need updating for versions 1.13 and above, but I'm sure you can handle it. So I hope you enjoyed that video, ladies and sirs, and found that interesting. If you have any questions or get stuck, feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section, and I'm sure I'll get back to you and try to help you out. So I hope you found that interesting, ladies and sirs. Until the next video, ta-ra.